Paulie Malignaggi reveals a dangerous injury he picked up in his bare knuckle fight with Artem Lobov. What up, Fight World? It's your boy, Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Let's jump into it. Paulie Malignaggi just had a bare knuckle fight with a former MMA fighter, friend of Conor McGregor. I don't know what you're thinking. Who the fuck is Conor McGregor's friend, Artem Lobov? Now, Paulie Malignaggi on his page, he posted this, for all to see. He said he had a hand injury after the fight, but boom, that's his hand right now. So, looks pretty bad. So he wasn't lying, in case anyone was doubting this. And, I didn't really doubt that this was true because Paulie Malignaggi has had hand injuries even in his boxing career. He's, some guys like Donaire, Gary Russell Jr., Floyd Mayweather, Paulie Malignaggi, they've had known existing hand injuries. So he confirmed he's like retiring. And, I want to read what he put. We'll just jump into that. Paulie Malignaggi said, "Life is sometimes about being adventurous and trying new things. Many thought I was crazy for trying my hand at bare knuckle combat. And while unfortunately I may not have been born with very durable hands, it is still an experience I get to look back on and say I lived it. People have always had very little expectations of me in my life, but I could proudly say I've always fought my way to a better life. In life, we all have obstacles, and I've always been driven most when faced with adversity. In the end, despite my brittle hands, 4 surgeries on my right hand, I have been able to accomplish more as mainly a one-handed fighter than most fighters accomplish with 2 hands. And I did it with no shortcuts, and having fought some amazing fighters, traveled to some amazing places, and met some amazing people along the way. You always wonder if, as you get older, you still have the ability to dig down when things get tough. After 2 rounds Saturday night, I sat in my corner now knowing I would be a one-handed fighter for the remainder of this fight, and I am proud I continued on and showed myself I still had a willingness to dig deep when faced with adversity, as I found myself once again in a familiar predicament of having a damaged hand with a determined opponent across the ring coming to rip my head off. Yet now I was competing in a new form of combat. I assure you it's not an inevitable position, but enviable position, but I'm glad I stayed true to myself as a man and as a fighter in the moment, and continue to fight despite having to obviously adjust my strategy. Respect to Russian Hammer, Artem Lobov, who always shows up to fight and gives his best no matter what day or place or at what weight, and respect to him for the fight on Saturday. Obviously, I feel like I won the fight, but that is in no way meant as a disrespect to him. I hope he can take the momentum he gained from this result and make plenty of money for himself and his family and his career. Here are some pics of my hand after Saturday night's fight." You see people like Leonard Ellerby saying respect, Tonio Tarver, giving his words, Showtime Pettis. Paulie's a true warrior. I think I don't know if it was an actual break, but when he fought Cotto, I think something was wrong with his jaw, like a fracture or something. It might have been broken. He has, as I mentioned in this video, had hand injuries. Awesome commentator. He said he's hanging him up, as I think he should in this particular case. And he has a life after boxing, fortunately for him, because he has the mouthpiece and the gift of gab and ability to talk boxing. He can also train people and get into that avenue. So definitely some angles and avenues he can work in the fight game. His hand looks fucked up. So, he's just showing you, not that he has to prove it, but he's obviously in the hospital. His hand looks pretty bad. But, no excuses. Artem Lobov won. I didn't even watch the fight, to be honest. I just seen the highlights because I was in Vegas for the Charlo fight. I seen the highlights, and it looked like Paulie was, a slicker boxer and hard to hit, and Artem Lobov was the aggressor. I don't really know much about the bare knuckle because it's kind of new. I don't know how they score and all that stuff. I don't know the actual criteria, different sizes, a round ring and stuff like that. So I got to brush up on some of those things. But all in all, from what I've seen, it doesn't look like it delivered like what he's saying here, which is good, you know, good sportsmanship, but it doesn't look like it delivered the same intensity that they had spitting and slapping each other and stuff before the fight. So now that it's over, it is what it is. Paulie Malignaggi tried his hand at it, you know, came up a little short. I heard he won. You know, some people said he was running too much and too evasive. I don't know. I guess I have to check it out for myself. But that's the update with Paulie's hand. Again, you know, I assume he's going to go back to, you know, just his commentary stuff with Sky Sports and Showtime, CBS. Let me know what you guys think. If you watched the fight, drop your thoughts in the comment section. And does Artem Lobov have a career? Who do you want to see him fight in bare knuckle? If you're new, consider subscribing. Shout out to everybody who supports my channel. You know, we're making some moves. Thank you. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.